look who's back. It's been a minute. One of a fan favorite for sure. Up there with it's Jordan Takimoto and Travis Cole that definitely lead the clubhouse in appearances, and people definitely enjoy those episodes. There's a reason why these guys keep coming back, and it's not just because they feel guilty when I ask them. I think they enjoy it, and I know they know the people enjoy it. So, Jordan, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on? No, it's weird you say that because when we did the Father's Day episode and I was in the background, like Travis, he's like, "Oh, you're probably going to get the call soon." And it's like, "No, probably not." Like that doesn't make any sense. Like why would he has plenty of other guests lined up to do that. So like all that to say is like he's like a beautiful Adonis and can also predict the future.
Yeah.
Be like I'm not in the same room with him that often. It's distracting. Like it's a problem.
Hey man, I worked with him for a couple of years, and yeah, right. I think I made this joke when he first came on the podcast. It's tough walking around the building when you're, working on all these projects with him and doing these different things. Walking next to him doesn't matter what I do to my face. I'm still like a what's Deadpool say? Like an avocado.
He's
That's
like
what I feel like.
it's like the what that Brian Callen joke. It's like my estrogen levels just kind of went through the roof when he was in the building. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is weird. I feel like less of a man.
Exactly. He can do it all. He can do it all. Uh, Thanks for coming on, man. As always, we appreciate it. This is something that was sped up a little bit because we had a guest lined up and they weren't able to make it because they were having some um there are some cold issues, so they didn't feel like that'd be great for the podcast. So we'll have that person on later down the road. But I was planning on doing this episode with you next week, but it just turns out we're doing it this week. But one of your this will be dropping the week before 4th of July, which is if anybody doesn't know, one of Jordan's favorite holidays, if not your favorite holiday. I don't know I forgot what your ranking is as far as holidays, but I'm pretty sure this one's at the top.
It's probably number one. Yeah, for sure.
Number one, and then Halloween number two.
No, gee, no. Halloween's not a real holiday. Like I've grown out of Halloween like when I was like 10. Like it's not cool Halloween or it's not cool holiday.
Well, and plus you're not a candy guy,
Mm-mm.
so I mean you like some candy, but you're not like a huge sweet tooth like myself. Me and my wife are big sweet tooth people, so you don't really enjoy that part of it. You don't really enjoy dressing up in a costume. You don't really like horror movies. There's really nothing there in Halloween for you.
No, and usually like the past what like 6 years, it's usually been it always lines up with playoff baseball. So usually by that time, either the Dodgers have played terribly and lost in the play, like except for 2020. Like I'm just in a bad mood. So like the fact that you have like little kids ringing on my door, like that's it's just a cocktail. It's a disaster waiting to happen. It's a cocktail of just bad moods, and it's like I don't want to give kids candy when I see the Dodgers hit 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position for a series.
So one day when you have your own home, are you gonna be the dude that puts the candy out in front and just like take one, and then they're not gonna take one,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or no candy at all,
I
just the dark house,
I don't know. I guess it would depend on the mood.
depending on the year how the series is going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's basically how we'll make things happen is depending on how they're doing at that current point. Certainly, if they're in like the World Series and it's on like a Halloween happens at the like no, like I don't want stupid kids running around vandalizing my house or whatnot. So no, we're not gonna do that. Okay, I don't like kids that much.
Just spray painting like the SF Giants logo in your driveway.
Yeah, no, I can't have that. I can't have that.
Just like leaving a bunch of like Brandon Belt captain hats out there for you.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be tough. You know what? But I'm a big private home security guy. So all the cameras
Yeah,
and like vengeance will be paid.
and a pit bull.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest dog guy, but like I'll definitely get some sort of deterrent to really leave a mark on certain kids. Yeah.
There you go, and we'll leave it at that. Jordan's not a huge fan of Halloween, but he is a huge fan, like I said, of 4th of July. So, which is a fun, like 4th of July is a fun one because it's right in the middle of summer, at the peak of summer, I feel. And obviously, there's a ton of fun things that happen on 4th of July. But why do you personally like 4th of July so much?
Well, You want? I'm gonna start off with this because I think you kind of skipped a step by not saying where Deb is tonight. So I'm just gonna say I bet Deb likes 4th of July because she likes to, try and get attention on social media. So that's probably her favorite holiday too, because she's just, always wanting that social media attention by posting her pictures. So,
Right. Right.
that the first thing I think of with Deb is, oh, she's trying to get attention, by posting swimsuit pictures.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, based on the last one, which involved a swimsuit, I'm sure around this time of the year, it's the red, white, and blue bathing suit like everybody wears around around 4th of July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
So
like you brought up, I'm sure there's like an army of dudes that follow her on Snapchat that are just gonna, they're gonna meet that dude behind the alley and just like beat him with like bars of soap. Because like you shut it down for everyone.
it's like you had a good thing going. What's wrong with you? Yeah,
It's like that kid in school, right? Like it's like hey, the teacher brings in something really cool, like a cool electronic or so whatever, and then like some kid screws it up and all of us suffer. So like that kid is just hated for the rest of his life just because like of that one moment where he ruined it for the rest of the dudes.
Yep, we talked about this on our playground episodes. The snitch
Yeah.
kid who can't help himself. He's got it. And usually I feel like it is, at least in our, in our time in elementary school, we were around more guys. So I always think it's a dude, a little like weaselly guy that does it. Can't stand that kid. What's your problem, man? But yeah, same type of guy. It's probably the same dude that did that. But
I guess my issue is like I don't know what the alternative, like what you want her to post. Like, do you want more teaching posts? I don't. I mean, her cheersing happy hour, like that's not interesting content to me. It's not that I'm perving on the swimsuit pictures, but it's like if you had to take one, I think you're going to take the swimsuit.
sure.
I like the fashion of it, so I just want to throw that out there.
Sure. Well, and like Deb and I discussed on that episode, this was a person that was interested in her at that point too. So it's a very bizarre move by someone who is you know, trying to win the affection of someone. Probably not the best thing to do. But that guy's out there doing his own thing. So who knows? Who knows what his problem is? But yeah. Anyways, yeah, you're right though.
No.
Deb is not here tonight. Who knows? If you guys listened to our episode a couple of weeks ago where she was talking about her summer plans, who knows where Deb is right now? She could be anywhere. It's like finding Carmen Sandiego. We have no clue. She's probably doing something fun. Good for Deb. But that's all I know. I have no idea where she's at right now.
Okay. No. Well, back to your question then.
Yeah.
What was it? You just kind of why I like it.
Yeah. 4th of July.
Okay.
Why do you like it? Or what do you like about it?
I feel like it's the opposite of Halloween, right? So we kind of broke down like a triple thread of why, I hate Halloween. It's like you think about the things that go on during 4th of July. So it's like, first off, it's the summer. And like you and I share the commonality of like loving the summer. So I love the hot weather. Most of the time you're probably by some body of water, whether it's like a lake, an ocean, a pool. So then like you get swimming involved, hot weather. Like the food is by far like, and I'll argue this with anyone, it's by far the best of the holidays. Like I could just eat that food all the time. And then you got you got fireworks, you got baseball, you get a little baseball in it. So you have a little bit of everything. So I feel like it's just the other one's like a cocktail of just like horrors for me. This is like a cocktail of just deliciousness. That's all just in one day.
And
that you just can't beat.
As I'll point out, Jordan said horrors, not horrors. A cocktail of horrors.
Yeah, no. As no, we didn't say that. Sorry. That word probably came up in some reading I was doing for a later segment. So I think it is off the top of my mind, but no, it's like a cocktail of just the bad news. That's what Halloween is.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why in my mind that's just what I heard. I'm like, whoa, he's going strong, coming on strong tonight.
Well, that's probably not the worst thing you've heard recently. I mean, I think
100%.
It sounds like your daughter maybe found a new vocabulary word that probably will be on next year's Father's Day episode.
Yeah, maybe I may have to keep that one out. Yeah, not even a word that we use. It's like, where did that come from? It's probably Uncle Jordan or Uncle Justin. Like,
after what Blake said on the Father's Day episode, it probably came from him. Has she hung out around him?
No, not at all. But maybe it is. if you guys haven't heard that, go back and check out the Father's Day episode. Blake Kidwell tells a very funny story about what his son started saying in the car. It made all of us laugh, including Jordan, who was there behind the camera. It was very funny. But yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I enjoy 4th of July. It's not as high on the list for me, but I also don't have a ton that I don't like a ton of holidays I dislike. Um, but yeah, it is a lot of fun. Even, we don't have access to a pool, but we have like the kids splash mats, slip and slides. I've already been on record multiple times on this podcast saying how much I love slip and slides. Slip and slides are awesome. I don't care how old it's. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to like break a bone before I stop going on the slip and slide, and even then, I'm probably still gonna do it because I love them that much. Am I too old to do it? Yes, I am. I am too old to be doing it. Don't care. So I agree. Having 4th of July, being near the water, even if it's just it could be sprinklers. It could be just running through sprinklers. I don't care. It is a lot of fun. I do enjoy the summer weather. And as far as the food, um, what is? I mean, this is gonna be kind of dumb because I'm typically at 4th of July celebrations with you, but what is like when you think of the food? What kind of food are you thinking of?
Definitely. So we've only done this 1 year when you weren't here, but like we've had ribs before, so that's like probably the all timer. I mean, it's just not super feasible for a large gathering like we have.
It'd be balling.
So I'm a hot dog and hot link guy, or I'm sorry, a hamburger and hot. I don't do a ton of hot dogs, so hamburger hot link guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think I would argue with anyone that everyone raves about like Thanksgiving leftovers. I would take the leftovers of a 4th of July. So you're looking at like a nice potato salad,
Mm-hmm.
nice baked beans, little corn action, some like watermelon. I'll take that any day over some mashed potatoes and stuffing. No, get out of here. That's trash.
Yeah, see, I do like the Thanksgiving food, but I also like the 4th of July food. I don't discriminate. I don't like baked beans though. I've never liked baked beans, and I know this has been a point of contention between you and I. I
You and your
just
wife
don't.
don't like good stuff.
Oh, how dare you! I like a lot of good stuff. Rachel does not like as many of those things. I agree, but
I,
myself, I just don't like baked beans. But
I,
you
I
like that stuff. You love it.
I've tweeted like I would say 65% of my body weight in the month of July is baked beans and potato salad. It's no longer water. It's like brown sugar baked beans and my mom's potato salad. Like I just eat that every day at work, and it doesn't. I don't care. I don't care if it doesn't go with like a pizza that I may have. I'm gonna get some baked beans, some potato salad.
Nothing he loves more than baked beans and potato salad. That might be the sound bite right there.
Yeah.
He just loves baked beans. No, the baked beans can go kick rocks. I'll be honest with you. I don't like baked beans. And could I eat them? Yeah, I could eat them. Do I want to? Don't want to. The potato salad though is different. I do love potato salad, and this is worth pointing out. And I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but you hear these stories a lot of times of people talking about how they grew up and their food situation, and whether or not their parents. Usually, in most stories, like the mom, like, "Hey, can your mom cook?" And I've heard so many people say, mm "Not at all," unless you mean putting like a TV dinner in or ordering pizza. They are terrible. And I had friends that were in that boat. They're like, "Man, my mom is a horrible, horrible cook." We were the exact opposite. Our mom's a really good cook, and so we've never had to struggle through that. We've never had to struggle through the bad potato salad. We've never had to struggle through the bad meatloaf, the bad lasagna. Like all of it's fire, and that's not an exaggeration. Like I had friends that would come over to the house, sleep over, and we just like would not stop talking about my mom's cooking, your mom's cooking. And then they would go back to their own house and they tell their mom, it's like, "Man, Glenda can really cook." It's like, "Hey man, shut up. Shut up. Your mom's gonna kill you if you keep this up." So she probably made some enemies over the years, but not with my friends. They were huge fans.
No, I could probably count on, speaking of 4th of July and fireworks, I can probably count on one of Jason Pierre Paul's hands how many bad meals my mom's cooked. Okay.
Yeah.
And usually it's a simple mix up. It's not like a technique thing. It's just like, oh, I was busy doing everything else in the house. And I put for apple cinnamon pancakes, I did apple cumin pancakes. So that probably is not great. But like I said, I could probably count on one of Jason Pierre Paul's 3 fingers that he has on one hand, how many bad meals my mom's cooked. And it's probably, you probably capped out at 3.
She doesn't miss.
Mm-mm.
Does not miss. Yeah, and like you said, if there is a miss, it's because there was a mix up or something that was, just a odd situation. But
It
some people,
probably
but
you and me were probably screwing around, caused her to mess things up. You
it's probably
know,
where like get into a fight, people are wrestling around. It's like stop it, and then all of a sudden, nope, there it's you added more pepper than you should have, and now it's everybody's coughing while they're
Mhm.
eating dinner. Yeah, there was something else that she did too. I forgot what it was, but I think she added something that was more spicy. And our dad is like
That's a big one for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a human thermometer. Because if you watch that guy, you look at his balding head, and if his head starts to glisten and it's not meant to be a spicy meal, that means something got mixed into the sauce that wasn't supposed to be there. Again, it doesn't happen very often, but all that being said, though, it's like people enjoy going over to my mom's house for food because she kills it every time. And yeah, potato salad. I always look forward to potato salad. Um, Also, like I do like hot dogs though too. I love hot links. Now I'm getting older. I've said this before. Hot links, spicy food is definitely affecting my stomach in different ways. Like I definitely pay the price later. We don't need to go into it. I'm just saying it's an unpleasant time for me. But does it stop me? Absolutely not, because I love spicy salsa. I love when we go to like Blaze. I love the spicy pizza sauce. I love all of those spicy things, hot links included. It doesn't stop me. Do I pay for it at the age of 33? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But will
Sometimes
I?
even during the meal, you pay for it, like you did with me at Blaze.
Oh man, that was yeah. I had to I had to run to the bathroom. Like I gotta go. It was not a great situation. Yeah, that spicy red sauce was good. I think I told you. I will say that is good, but not great. That spicy red sauce. So that's one I may have to retire.
Yeah.
So but like the La Placita hot salsa that I love it too much. I don't care. It never misses, and I keep eating it. And hot links is in the same boat for me. In fact, I think the last get together we had was it for grandma's birthday. Uh, we did a barbecue for my grandma's birthday, and again, it was kind of like that. Hot dogs, hamburgers, potato salad, fruit, all this stuff. And my mom was taking everybody's order to see what everybody wanted. And she's like, "Hey, do you want a hot link?" And for a split second, I thought, no, I probably shouldn't. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe this time instead of doing two hot links, I'll just do one hot link. So I still did it, still paid the price, but it was delicious. Like I love hot links.
Well, and now it's bad with you and I because we'll bait each other into adding either more food or like food that's gonna make us like it's gonna pay later on. So like when you're ordering, I'm egging you on to get both the hot dog, the hamburger, and the hot link. Just I we like it's a weird fetish we have is just getting each other to get like fatter during
Yeah.
one sitting, and also just knowing that like there's gonna be a delay, just pain that's gonna happen.
What happens again, this is kind of going away from 4th of July, but every year my family, we all go to Pismo Beach. And one of the nights there's a really good steak sandwich. It's not just a steak sandwich shop, it's a restaurant, but we get steak sandwiches from there. It's called Brad's. And if anybody's been to Pismo Beach, you've probably seen it because it's on the main pier stretch. And we go there every time. And usually the responsible choice would be get one sandwich. Like you don't need more than one sandwich. And
Maybe have a
every time
salad,
you
sandwich and a
a
salad.
sandwich and a salad and French fries. There's a lot of food already. You don't need a second sandwich. But then every time as we're getting the orders and get ready to place it, we kind of make eye contact, Jordan and I. It's like, how many sandwiches are you gonna do? It's like, probably one. I'm sorry, you didn't hear me. How many sandwiches are you gonna do? And then
Plural.
yeah, usually it comes down to him and I split another sandwich, and then we're miserable for the rest of the night. Because that's the thing too, and I think I can speak for you on this. I know I can speak for myself. I'm not a huge eater. Like I don't have like I've never, you hear these stories, especially when you're like in these athletic circles. You hear the stories of like the parents being eaten, just like the refrigerator is destroyed. Basically, I don't know a better way to put it, but like just like they're getting out eaten by their kids because they have these like huge boys or huge kids in the house. That was never really us. Justin, our youngest brother Justin, was probably closer to that, where he was just like eating everything in sight. Was never really the case for me. And so making that choice to eat that little extra food, it does make a huge difference. And I do typically pay for it. Like I'm just sitting there miserable. And now that I have kids, they still want to play and wrestle around. So it's like, okay, if I make this choice, I know I have to suck it up and keep wrestling and keep playing because that's what they're asking me to do. So um But yeah, no, we do that, and it's. I think there's been a couple of times, not often, but a couple of times where I'll get two burgers. That's a huge mistake.
I mean, that's a rookie mistake. Two burgers.
Yeah, but that's like a rookie mistake being made in my like 30th year of life. It's
Yeah.
like you should know way better. But again, though, you remember like so our mom, for 4th of July when we would have all the family over, she wouldn't just use paper plates or like regular plates. She had these really cool, and she still has them, these really cool trays, these colorful trays, kind of you would get like a cafeteria and
Prison.
yeah, or prison, depending on who you are, depending on who you are in our family. But they're prison prison trays, prison trays.
Which one?
That's what I'm saying. It could be a couple different people, but
Just pick a name.
hopefully never us. Um, but yeah, no, these trays, they're really cool. I don't know what it was, but like when she would bring those out for 4th of July, like it was just one of those weird things for me as a kid that made it even more special. I'm like, oh, she brought out the colorful trays. Like it didn't make the food taste any better. It was just kind of a fun thing that she did during those times. You know what I mean?
I feel like it was just the visualization of like, oh man, like a normal meal, what you have like maybe 3 or 4 items,
Right.
but seeing the fact that you had like I think like 6 or 7, it's like, oh dang, like even though you saw the option in front of you, it's the fact that each one had its spot. It's like I'm having like 7 things right now, and I just love it all.
It's awesome. No, 100%. And I feel like, yeah, and again, if you're not aware of how my family does things, specifically our mom, she makes a lot of food. Like there's not you could not that I recommend this, please don't do this to her, but like someone could be, it's happened before. Someone, hey, I have a friend or this person I know that has nowhere to go. Their plans got canceled. Can they come with me? And she's like, absolutely. She does not have to think twice about whether or not she has enough food. It's not even a consideration. She can probably say yes to like 3 or 4 more people, and it's all good. So she just makes a ton of food, and so that was always the cool thing about the 4th of July meals. Really, any holiday, but 4th of July for sure. Plenty of food to go around, and like you said, you'll have plenty of leftovers to take to work the next day with your bean and potato salad mixture and your pizza, whatever you said. Um, I had to hear too, like, what's your least favorite 4th of July food? But I don't honestly, for me, I mean, because like I kind of joke about the baked beans. I could eat the baked beans if I had to. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. So like, I wouldn't even put that as my least favorite necessarily. It's all pretty good.
I'm probably not a macaroni salad guy.
I'll say I like that too.
But like you said, I could eat it. I mean, I like pasta. So it's
Yeah,
like, that would probably be the one. But again, like everything, that's the thing on 4th of July. Everything's at least a double, you know.
sure.
It's either a double, a triple home. There's no strikeouts, there's no ground out. It's a double, a triple, or single. Like that's like the rating it gets.
Yeah, but it's funny. Some people might be listening to this. So like, hey, screw you, Jordan. All at my party at my family's house, a single would be welcome. They're getting shut out, no hit every holiday. You know what I'm saying? We just have a
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be
I
tough.
I,
We're just
I,
lucky.
I do I do think it's harder to mess up. I would also argue it's harder to mess up 4th of July food. Because I've seen some of those Thanksgiving turkeys that people put, and it's not a good situation. So I think it would be like, I think like our younger brother who just isn't great at anything really. He could do a couple hot dogs. Like I mean, and I would trust him fairly. He'd do fairly well with a couple hot dogs. So I'm just saying, I feel grab a bag of Doritos. If that's what you're doing. If you're going to a house where you are a little skeptical of cooking, do the Casey Taylor. Just bring a bag of chips,
Shout out to
maybe some
Casey.
maybe some cookies, and you should be good because those things are prepackaged. So
Yeah,
you can find a way around it. But again, some of those other meals, it's like that turkey, it gets rough sometimes.
sure. I also want to point out, I want to defend our little youngest brother. He's in better shape than both of us, so he can definitely fitness wise he can do that better, and he's definitely smarter than me. He may not be smarter than you, but he's definitely smarter than me. So 100%. He may not think so. I'm telling you right now. I'm probably the dumbest person in the family, you know.
Well, he was dumb enough to believe that you have a learning disability. So, I mean,
Did I tell that story here?
yes, you did. Yeah.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some jokes go too far. You sell the joke too much and it confuses people. And now he's walking around thinking that I have special needs. So yeah, want to avoid that joke from now on.
It's like when we told him that, he started treating you like Carol from The Office treats Kevin when she think everyone. It's like, hey, you be nice to Josh. Like he was telling random strangers, like when they kind of give him a dirty look when you were like struggling to count change at like the grocery store. He's like, hey, don't talk to him. Like, don't give him that look. Okay.
Yeah, people are like, "Hey, you
This
do
is
a
my
podcast? That's
this is
really
my
nice."
this is my brother, and he's a special individual.
Yes, stop this right now.
It's like, Justin, we've got to end this bit. I mean, we got to
Yeah,
tell Justin.
he would just like we would be at the checkout stand together, and he would just take the credit card out of my hand. He's like, "Let me take care of that, Josh." Like, why? Like, I just want to make sure you're not getting overcharged. Like, oh, okay, thanks. Um,
Like, Josh, you
so
gave him the Dave and Buster's power card, man. Like, that's not payments.
the Dave and Buster Power Card. You know, this is a side note. I kind of miss tokens. You know what I mean? Like
I'm a big
now,
token guy.
yeah, now all those places you go now, whether it be Dave and Buster's, like all those casino arcades, or I mean, even like casinos, right? They have those cards that you kind of load the money on, and your winnings come on back on that. I don't really like that as much. I prefer just the tokens, old school.
No, yeah, that's like a sign of the times. I think we're creating softer individuals. It's like Monopoly. Like I don't want electronic cards. Like you can't steal electronic cards like you could steal from the banker in Monopoly as you go to the bathroom.
Good point.
So I feel like we're creating just, worse humans, as we make things more simpler.
Go back to the paper money for Monopoly. We actually do
Mhm.
have a version of that with the electronic credit card. Our sister hates it because she's the banker, because she's the math teacher in the family. So she's like, I don't want to do it. I said, yeah, but you should have thought about that when you chose your profession. All of us are too dumb to do it. So here you go, math teacher. And she hates it. But then I think sometimes there are times where I see her doing her thing, like doing change and swiping the cards. Like I think she gets kind of a little bit of a high off of it too.
Yeah, she's like Rain Man.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that, but um, I did have I saw a commercial the other day for Dave and Buster's, and I think they had a dodgeball game. Looked pretty cool.
I was supposed to go to Dave. This is a sore subject. I was supposed to go to Dave and Buster's last Wednesday.
Oops. All right. Moving on.
Yep. No, I'm very upset.
He's mad at Dave and Buster.
Someone very close to both of us. Maybe we've grown up with her.
Uh-oh.
Wasn't able to make it. So.
Uh-oh. Anyways,
Yep.
that makes the Rain Man thing makes more sense.
It was
now.
half off game Wednesday too. Half off game Wednesday.
Oh.
Yep.
She did the math, wasn't interested.
Yeah. I was gonna ask. So as far as food, this is a tough one that I thought of when you sent me kind of the different prompts. What's your ideal dessert? Because I feel like again, dessert, you can kind of go a number of different routes and they're all just fire.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. Okay. I'm glad you brought this up because I actually thought about this and I forgot to put it down. Again, our mom goes big all the time when it comes to this stuff. So no matter what she's done as far as desserts or food, she's always killed it. And again, that's not me being biased. And you ask anybody who comes to our house, they'll say the same thing. And dessert is no exception. So she's done a lot of great desserts. She's done everything from sundaes to brownie sundaes to banana splits. The one like when I first thought of this, the first thing that came to mind was she used to do a red, white, and blue cake. And so she would do like a pound cake maybe, or something like that. Maybe it was just like a white, like a regular white cake,
Like angel food.
like angel food. And she would do the flag with strawberries, blueberries, and whipped cream. That was always delicious too. So she's done that before. She hasn't done that for quite a while, but I remember thinking like, this is amazing. This is delicious. And especially during the summer, those things are in season, and so they just taste even better, especially on those hot summer days. Strawberry shortcake is always fire when she's done that. I'm a big fan of that. So
Root beer floats.
root beer floats too. You know what I mean? It's yeah, she just, like I said, doesn't miss on the food or the dessert. So I have a feeling I know which one's your favorite because you lit up like a fat kid at a buffet. But what was which one's your favorite?
Well, yeah, yes, okay. I do like brownie sundaes. Okay, I like brownies. I like Sundays. I don't know why I'm being fat shamed on this podcast. I mean, you
You got
know,
very excited. Like you basically, I feel like your eyes were saying, "Hey, why don't you just shut up, Josh, and let's just stop here. Let's not list off the other nonsense desserts. Let's just talk about brownie sundaes." Like that's the look I was getting from you when I said it.
yeah, no, now when is this drop? When is this podcast dropping?
This is going to drop the Tuesday before 4th of July. So what would that be? Let me pull up the
Oh,
calendar.
okay, it then doesn't matter at this point. Then it's before 4th of July. Hey, mom, let's do some brownie sundaes this year. That's my plea. I'm doing a PSA, a public plea. I don't want a banana split. Let's go brownie sundaes.
Banana splits are good too. What if you do a brownie banana split?
I no.
Yeah, no, that actually doesn't
No,
sound good. That doesn't sound
I
good.
just want it doesn't sound I just want a pure brownie. I want a Ghirardelli chocolate, triple chocolate chunk brownie sundae.
There you go. If
That's all I
anybody's,
want in life, Josh. I don't ask for a lot, okay?
yeah, yeah. If you can go back in time and have a brownie Sunday at Dave and Buster's last Wednesday, life would be good. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, you didn't
Yeah.
get either one of those things. So
No, so we need to make things right, make amends for kind of the lost opportunity last week.
yeah, I do like brownies. But yeah, any dessert like that is good. Um, it's not this is probably not a popular opinion. I don't know how you feel about this, but other people I know, this is not gonna be a super popular opinion. Uh, so I like ice cream. I enjoy it a lot, but it's never anything. It's never something like I ever crave. I'm never like, man, you know what sounds really good? A bowl of ice cream. Like it just never is. Like I said, now will I eat ice cream? Yes, I will. Do I like it? Yes, I do. And some ice creams I love, but it's just one of those things, right? It's just never the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, well, that's where you and I differ because probably it's currently 8:41, and literally every single day at like about 8:45, I get a craving for soft serve ice cream.
Soft
Like I would
serve?
soft serve. Like I would
Okay.
do unspeakable things for some soft serve ice cream.
All right.
You interpret that however you want. I just want just to put my
Sure.
mouth under the thing and just get some swirl in my mouth.
Again, I can see you at Hometown Buffet. Shout out to Hometown Buffet, right, Ashley? But Hometown Buffet is
R.I.P.
RIP.
Thoughts and prayers.
um, yeah, no, I could see you just doing that. Wasn't that? I think it was on one of the Nutty Professor movies, maybe the second one, where they were at a buffet and one of the kids was just under there, just doing the vanilla chocolate swirl right to the mouth.
Yeah.
You like that, huh?
Oh, I like that. That probably like is an all time. It's Mount Rushmore of desserts. It's just a soft serve cones, just soft serve ice cream. You want to tell me you don't go to Costco and just fantasize over that soft serve ice cream sundae?
Hmm.
That's like $2 of just you're not gonna find a better deal for $2 or whatever it is.
I know that is the great thing about Costco. That food court, the price is very nice. It's like a hot dog and a drink, soft serve ice cream. You're set. It's a whole meal for what, less than $10.
Have you ever seen anyone get a chicken bake?
Yes.
Oh,
I
you
feel like,
have.
I feel like our pops has gotten a chicken bake, hasn't he?
Maybe.
Maybe I wouldn't put it past him.
I've never seen anyone get chicken bake. I don't know how many they sell. Um,
I don't know. I
we need
can't
to
imagine
avoid
it's that
Tyler
many.
Pearson on that.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler Peterson, who I don't
Shout out
think
Tyler
follows the
Pearson.
podcast, which is fine. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I follow his YouTube
Right.
channel.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yep.
But yeah. Also, Jordan played one-on-one basketball against Tyler. If you want to go find that on YouTube, go for it.
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's up to you. It depends on how much you love the game of basketball. If you love it, yeah, don't maybe pass. If you're not a huge basketball fan, then I think you could enjoy it for sure. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about. So we talked a lot about food. We could probably talk more about food, but we're not going to. The fireworks. So here in Sacramento, California, I don't know if in most cities, I don't know what the situation is. I'm naive when it comes to the firework rules and all of that stuff for different cities. But here in Sacramento, we have like around this time, you'll see firework booths set up everywhere at every corner in every grocery store parking lot. Everywhere you'll see these fireworks booths. And obviously they're big fundraisers, so definitely go support your local whatever organization. I mean, if Coach Horner is listening to this,
Horn
he hasn't
dog.
Horn Dog, he doesn't need the help. That man, I've told him this before. And if you know Coach Horner, then you're probably very familiar with this. He sells those Big Bang boxes, which are what, like $300, and it's like that massive, like 4 foot box full of fireworks. That dude sells more of those. I call him the Pablo Escobar of Big Bangs, because he slangs those things like nobody's business. And last year he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, just sold my like 35th box of Big Bang." I'm like, "All right, cool, man." He was very proud, and now I look forward to seeing what the number is he sells when he does his firework booth. But um, that being said, I imagine that I know that we have some of our favorite fireworks, and I imagine everybody who's listening has some of their favorite fireworks, and then some of their least favorite fireworks. Uh, Jordan, what are some of your favorite fireworks, and why?
Hmm. Okay. And first, I just want to say, like, I have a running theory over the past couple of years that, like, anytime, we're taping this on a Friday. So anytime someone on like their last email of the week to you says, "Hey, happy 4th of July, be safe." I feel like anything that ends with that "be safe" before holiday, I feel like it's going to be either a really good time or like the worst night of your life. Like, you don't see people saying, "Hey, be safe" for before Easter or Thanksgiving. Like, it's your New Year's Eve, one of my favorites. 4th of July, one of my favorites, and Halloween, my least favorite. So like
Right.
I like the danger aspect of these holidays. That said, off the top of my head, I kind of like gimmicky fireworks. So something
Yeah.
that like spinny stuff. Like, I feel like
Sure.
that's been a thing the last couple of years where, it starts off just kind of your normal fountain. And then however they program it, it triggers like something to spin around the
Yeah.
bottom. But I think those are really cool. Those are super dangerous.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of the appeal. Like, I'm never the one that lights the fireworks because, in the words of, Michael Scott, have you seen Burn Victims?
Yeah.
Like, I don't play that game, but I like watching them. So probably anything that's like gimmicky. I remember there was like a one that was like a sunflower a couple of years.
Yeah.
They didn't bring it back. But like, it would, like I said, it would start with a regular fountain, and then something triggers it where it shoots out
It
the
blooms.
it blooms, and
Yeah.
it shoots out like that stuff gets me every single time.
Yeah. I'm with you. Those ground flowers, like the little tiny ones that you're talking about that spin, a lot of fun. But those are the ones that, and it hasn't happened for a while, knock on wood. But that's the one where if it hits a rock the wrong way, if it hits like the crack in the cement the wrong way, all of a sudden it goes and it just flies out into the night. And that makes everybody panic a little bit, like, go spray everything down, because those things are a little bit unpredictable, in the wrong hands. And sometimes they don't go off right away. And so you put them down there, and then you see like the little flame kind of fizzle out, and then you're just waiting. It's like, well, should we go relight it? And then you start walking towards it to relight it. And all of a sudden it's like, nope, go time. And then it spins right as you're about to touch it. Like, I agree. The spinning ones are unpredictable. Used to be a lot of fun. Now I feel like I'm typically the one that has to light those fireworks. Not as fun anymore. Not as fun when I'm the one lighting them, because now I just don't know what's going to happen. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, and I feel like this is kind of, you sent me a prompt, like kind of the least favorite things about 4th of July. I feel like the fireworks from these stands have gotten worse. Like, the engineering behind them, like they're exploding, or they're basically like shooting out the side, like where
Right.
they're not supposed to. I feel like that's the same with the ground flowers. Either that, or you're aiming it at certain members of a party, and you're just like, "Hey, look at this," and
Yeah.
you're like literally targeting them. And
Right.
I feel like if people saw you play your first 2 years of high school baseball, they'd be like, "Oh, he's just inaccurate." Like, I'm sure your varsity head coach would attest to that, but I don't think so. I don't think you're that bad. So
At
I,
the,
I think I think these are targeted attacks. Someone says something snarky about your kid, you're gonna throw a ground flower your way, and whatever happens, happens. Hope you're wearing closed-toed shoes.
yeah. Be careful. Get ready to dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No. Yeah. It is weird though. Those fireworks do have a little bit of a mind of their own recently. How many? I mean, over the years, how many times has there just been like a flaming pile of firework just catches on fire for no reason? I mean, usually it's kind of go, and then they're out. A lot of these now have been just, it'll be finished for a little bit, and all of a sudden just the flames start shooting from it randomly. It's very bizarre. So you got to watch out around those fireworks. Like you said, don't lose the JPP. Don't lose a finger or two while you're lighting these things or playing with these fireworks. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think for my favorite. I do like the gimmicky ones if they're good. There's the one that I don't know the name of it, but it's basically in the shape of a what's it called?
What's in the shape of, Josh?
I'm trying to think. Nothing gross.
You
Not
sure?
this one. I'm pretty sure. Was there? Anyways, it's like a umbrella, right? Like a semicircle umbrella thing, and it like the it kind of fans out. That was pretty cool. I heard the name of it, but I like that one a lot. It's a big one. It goes for a long time too.
That delirium?
Yes, delirium. I think it's called delirium. So if you guys are looking for a big finishing firework, check out delirium. Um, my least favorite is, and people love these things, and we're gonna get to this. Piccolo Pete's. Piccolo Pete's serve no purpose. They squeal, and then that's it. But I had so many people that I grew up with, all like from elementary school all the way even through college, that would tell stories about how it's like, oh yeah, I took a drill and I drilled at the bottom of the through a Piccolo Pete, or I tied 6 Piccolo Petes together and then shoved it, in the words of Joe Dirt, shoved it up a bullfrog's butt to, see what would happen. Like that's the kind of nonsense that happens with Piccolo Petes. They serve no purpose. They're not cool. And they're super loud. And like I said, for whatever reason, and I'm sure people do this with other fireworks too, but for whatever reason, a Piccolo Pete is like an invitation for some young kid to do something stupid. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the makeup of the firework, but they just love Piccolo Petes, not because they like how it looks or the sound. They just like doing weird stuff with Piccolo Petes. So Piccolo Petes,
You can tell like Piccolo Pete, and it's very odd. It's never women. Women aren't like thrilled for
no,
Piccolo. It's always dudes, and you can spot the dudes a mile away. Like it very much looks like, if people have like a maybe younger female cousin, maybe in her, I don't know, 20, 24, 23. It's like her boyfriend.
sure,
Like that's what you picture, kind of like a sketchy dude, but it's like, he doesn't bring anything for the dinner, but he brings like 5 Piccolo Petes,
yeah,
It's like he kind of dresses shady. I don't trust that guy, but you can always spot him in the party. It's like, oh, that's Piccolo Pete guy.
yeah. Well, and he also brings like 5 mason jars to go with the 5 Piccolo Petes. I'm like, what is he gonna do with this stuff? Like it's like he's building a bomb. Like that's what you just can't trust this guy. He's like, hey, you guys want to see something? Mm-mm.
Like
Nothing you're gonna show me.
he comes in with like a I don't know, like a ceramic smock, and it's
Yeah,
like trying to be fashionable. It's just it all's kind of weird, but
yeah. You
you
can't
can
trust that dude.
you can spot those guys just a mile away. Usually they have some shady facial hair too.
Right. Very thin. Both like their stature and their facial hair. Like you just can't trust it. You can't trust it. It's very bizarre. But yeah, you're right. It's just like they're holding Piccolo Pete's like they would hold cigarettes, like a pack of cigarettes. They just pull it out like you want Piccolo Pete? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? That's all they contribute. Like they should have just brought the bag of chips that you mentioned earlier, but they didn't. They brought Piccolo Pete's.
Yep. This is something I don't know if I've tweet. I forget what I tweet. It's probably inappropriate. I feel like the firework industry is like the slowest, the furthest behind in terms of like political correctness, because you get a lot of like Native American like names where it's like Tears of the Apache. It's like, how's that appropriate to be? It's like boats and hose.
Yeah.
You
Both.
can't you can't you
Hey,
can't you can't put that on a firework now. Like it's just so inappropriate. But again,
well,
it's
Step
very
Brothers.
it's like Native American, like very
Sure.
much. It's
Hey, boats and hose would be probably an awesome firework.
oh no, I would buy it.
Yeah.
I'd buy it. I don't care. You know, I I don't know what other people their fans do, but like it really, I base it on the little indicator cards that they have with like different grades. So they grade the
Sure.
color, the sound, and the height. So
Right.
yes, I don't care if it's politically incorrect. I will buy Tears of the Apache if it has a 5 color rating. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
someone's gonna do it. Okay, might as well be me.
There you go. There you go. Well, I don't know how many Native Americans we have listening to this podcast, but if we get a bad rating because of this, we're gonna say
Just look out. I'm just look out because they're just very loose with some of the Native American terms, and like I said, they're just like the slowest industry to change. So
I agree. There's some wild names. Never inappropriate. I mean, as far as like, you know, it's usually something like that where it's using a term for a different like group of people, but never, anything crazy inappropriate, like you said, like you alluded to earlier. Nothing in the shape of anything weird. You know what I mean? Can you imagine though? Can you
I
imagine?
mean, yeah.
It's only a matter of time. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Just like a penis shaped firework. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's out there somewhere. You go to like
Yeah, no,
if you go to Tease and Please, that store that's on Hazel and no Madison and Sunrise.
I think that's gone. I think it's something else. I think it looks even trashier
Is it?
because I feel like
Once the
I
McDonald's
feel
went,
like
they're like, yeah, we gotta switch it up.
yeah. It's like basically what you do is you get your Big Bear breakfast at Black Bear Diner, and then you go over to this new place. And like I said, I feel like Season Please there's a little bit of self awareness that like, hey, this new one. It's like it's trying to be probably like a Fredericks of Hollywood, but it's like
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah, no,
It's like discount stuff.
right, which is yeah. Anyways, not great, but I'm sure they've had it. They can have a little firework booth.
Yeah, Kiss and Tell. That thing that's on Sunrise too, right? That thing is just like a
I
staple.
think so. That is a staple. That seems like the same as like the Orbit station that's on Greenback.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And some of these other landmark places. There's just certain things in this area that you just have have been there all like for my entire life and will probably never go away. Um,
It's like the
those
boardwalk,
boardwalk,
Kiss and Tell, and
centerfold
yeah,
off of 50, and then not only centerfold, but then also what's the lobster restaurant that's been there forever? Rudy's Hideaway
Rudy's.
and
Yeah,
Spaghetti Factory. Like all of those, it's like I don't think
because
those places will ever go away.
well, Samurai Sushi died, so that was a shocker. I
That's a good
think it
point.
died.
I think so.
But no, with those establishments, like you said, they're staples, and especially like the was it is it Showgirls? You see it on the highway, going towards like Folsom.
I think so. Yeah.
You see like the ads, like that's how I knew the pandemic was bad. When like they just said, "Hey, we're closed," like they're not showing their latest model. Like, hey, hundreds of DVDs for this model. It's like we can't do this anymore. Like things are getting too dangerous out there. So
You can order a DVD online. We'll mail it to you.
yeah. I'm glad Showgirls finally took the pandemic serious.
Sure. Yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. The funny thing too about going because I remember going to the fireworks stand with our mom, and we would go to like our local pony ball baseball, um, firework booth and all that to see what kind of fireworks they had. And when you're younger, you would see because they know what they're doing. It's very similar to like cereal, right? Like they have this dope looking firework. It looks really cool. It's got like a dinosaur roaring. It's got just all this stuff that a kid would love. And then you get it, and this thing's the biggest piece of crap. Like this thing is barely a firework. It's like we lit a match and just watched the match kind of fizzle down. Like they really get you with that artwork. And that being said, that still happens to me to this day. Like if I go buy fireworks, I still get caught up in the look of the firework. And if it's got a cool design on it, even if I feel like, okay, there's a reason why this thing's only $3, I'm still gonna take a chance because I like how it looks. So they really play that. They play that game with kids, but they also get the adults on that too. I think
I
got me
think
multiple times.
I think they get you with like beach vibes or like water vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a couple beach ones that it's like Fiji fountain, and it's just like okay,
Tropical sunrise. Like,
yeah.
ooh, all
They
right, take me to
basically
why.
they basically stole like Capri Sun names and just threw it on like a firework, and that's what they called it good.
Yeah, it's like a Kygo or like marshmallow playlist. You know what I mean? Just this whole like
Yeah,
set of like tropical EDM music. It's like, ooh, this would be nice, and then it's not at all. It's a dud. Makes me
yeah.
upset.
That does bring me to my next thing. I don't like when the descriptions lie, because like I said, we go on the little
Yeah,
cards in front of each of them, and they say they're never like there's never a two color that they I guess advertise a two color, but
Right.
it's always like threes, fours, and fives. But sometimes those definitely lie. It's like you had two colors.
Right. Yeah. This was funny. It's a
Like
multicolored
even
fountain.
color,
No.
like it was like I could have been colorblind and that would have been fine. Like like there's just no color in it. So it makes me mad when I feel deceived by the descriptions that they post.
100%. And they could always go back and say, like, well, it was a faulty firework. No, it wasn't. This is a two-color firework and it's not great. Or sometimes just a one-color firework, which is even worse. It's like the equivalent of like a house that has just the white lights on Christmas. I'm not a fan of that. Like I like multiple colors of lights on the house during Christmas time. And you have some houses which it looks very classy. I'll give them that, but it's not the most exciting house, right? Like you're never going to look at a house with multiple or with just the straight white lights and think, man, that's a crazy house. What an experience watching the lights on that house. You're never going to think that. It's like, oh, that's a very classy look, and that's kind of where your appreciation of it ends. Same with these fireworks. Some fireworks, I'm with you. If it says multiple colors and it says 4 or 5 colors, you better have 4 or 5 colors, and better be a lot. Otherwise, it'd be a massive disappointment.
Yeah, people who only do like the white lights, it's like if you were to watch Top Gun, but like just black and white, like a Charlie Chaplin film.
That'd be tough.
It's like okay, this like I mean it's cool, but I mean it's just black and white. So it's like
You're missing a whole nother element to it.
yeah,
Shout out to Top Gun too. Awesome movie. Top
yeah,
Gun Maverick. You guys haven't seen it? Go check it out. Especially
yeah,
for 4th of July. Seems like a very American movie.
yeah.
Go check it out. Tom Cruise still doing the thing. And Mission Impossible too. Me and my wife are big Mission Impossible fans. So saw the trailer for that. The next one, can't wait. Bart Scott, can't wait.
Can't wait. You know what I another thing I don't like, and I just got done volunteering for a place for a week. So like shout out to volunteers. I mean, you're giving up your time after your day jobs, but we've got to step up with some of these crews that we're rolling out. Like sometimes it's like, oh, we got the C crew. And I'm just gonna make this blanket statement. And I vouch for dudes, I vouch for women, I vouch for both sides equally. We've got to get the dudes out of there. The dudes are rough. Like I don't want a dude in a calculator. Like unless I see a degree where you're like, you're some math whiz, like you guys all suck. It's like the same reason why like I feel like Bath and Body like targets like dudes because dudes are stupid. And so they do what I call Bath and Body calculus, where they throw all these deals at you. And so like by the end of it, you have 7 lotions, 9 body creams, and 10 like shower gels because they just kept throwing and they just can't keep track of it in their head. I feel like that happens, but I feel like they just overcharge us all the time because they can't keep track of what's going in, what the neighbor person is also buying. I feel like they just get too confused. We need women on the calculators because they're just better. They're more organized.
There you go. Drop the mic. No, I feel like how many times have you been at a firework booth too? And the guy's like, he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw in 2 of these for you too. They start throwing stuff in. We've been in that situation before. It's like, hey, I came here to buy 5 fireworks. He's like, yeah, but you're gonna get 15 today. And he's like, let me throw in a couple of these, couple of these. I'm like, can you do this? Are you guys just losing money on you throwing these fireworks in? Like, what is going on here?
That's why we bring our sister to the Rotary Club. It's just a bunch of white dudes that love like Asian girls. So we get like full fountains because of her. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we bring like our younger brother to like the local softball team because all the moms kind of go to the softball thing. And yeah, so that's
Sure.
why we bring Justin. It's like, hey, this 6'3" strapping young man would like to buy 7 of the Heat.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Wear your tank top, bro.
yeah.
Show off the guns.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna go to Folsom Lake. We're gonna play some dogfight football from Top Gun. Oil you all up, and then we'll bring you out to the stand to see how women like it. So we gotta
Yeah.
keep his chest covered though. That's not gonna
Ooh.
get any free deals. So
Pew,
we
pew,
got we
pew.
gotta keep it to his arms.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. That would be a funny thing. It's like, hey, Justin, you go to this firework booth because the moms are there. Ashley, you go to this one because the old guys that like Asians, they're at this one. Then we just come back with 100 fireworks. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Well, I was one of the things and we have just a few more minutes here. We're trying not to be crazy long because our episodes typically go a little bit longer. So I try to be a little more aware of the time. But we had a neighbor back in the day, when I was pretty young. I mean, I was probably still in elementary school, where he bought a ridiculous amount of fireworks. Like there's always the one person that comes through, and I feel like if they're a regular customer at the firework booth, then the person who's running the firework booth knows. They're like, oh, this person is a big spender, and this guy across the street was a huge spender on fireworks. And he would easily buy like $300 worth of fireworks and just set them off, to the point where some people in our family were like, yeah, the fireworks are cool, but at a certain point it's so smoky on the street that you can't see anything anyways. So are these really all that necessary? But like he had the ladder, like fireworks on top of the ladder, and then multiple rungs of the ladder. Like it just got wild. But some people like, this is their moment. Like the amount of time and effort someone puts into decorating their house for Christmas is the same that some people would do for 4th of July. Like they're like, oh, it's my time to shine. Let me get 2 of the big bangs and then throw in a bunch of other stuff. Let me have this guy over here do the math because I know he sucks, like you said, and I'll just get as much as I can possibly get. And yeah, it's just always interesting. And maybe some people that are listening to this maybe you're that person that just loves buying fireworks. But it's a weird thing to buy. I'll say that it's a weird thing to buy because it doesn't last very long.
Yeah, I think you justify it by saying you're helping the community, the local organizations. But I do think, just part of your story, I think you need to paint a picture of what this guy looks like. Because I was pretty young too when that dude was our neighbor.
The me
He,
Mario.
he, huh?
He looked like Mario.
Oh, see, I was thinking he looked like the number 2 on Home Improvement.
No, I don't think he had the full beard like that. I think he definitely had the mustache.
See,
And
that's what I always think. Or the guy that does the like the infomercials.
oh, the one that passed away, Billy Mays.
Yeah, I think Billy Mays, or the guy from Home Improvement.
Yeah, see, he didn't have a full beard. It was just the mustache.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I always looked at him as like Mario, like Mario and Luigi.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll trust you. You were older, but yeah, like, and his name was Vinny. So it's also like, oh, like that's just the perfect firework name.
Yeah, sure. It's like, oh, Big Vinny. Yeah, if you see Big Vinny, like the pepper, like the round table pizza, they used to have the Big Vinny. That's basically what he was. Oh, it's Big Vinny. He's coming through, and just would buy as many fireworks as he possibly could. Like his lineup was ridiculous, but it was always cool though. Like it was a cool thing for him to do because like the whole neighborhood benefited from that. So, you know, shout out to him for that. That was a great thing. But yeah, it was a lot. It was overkill for sure. And you do get to a certain point where you're like, I don't know if I need to keep watching all these, because you kind of like, you've seen one, you've seen them all. There's very few that have that, the razzle dazzle,
Yeah.
As Bert Kreischer would say, the
It's
razzle dazzle.
like you said, when he did them all on like a like 3 on a ladder, it was like one big explosive like orgy where it's like, I don't know what's going on. Like it's not special anymore. It's kind of just a lot of parts flying around.
Right. Speaking of orgies, the neighbors across the street from you guys now always like to keep their lights on. We don't know what goes on at that house. We have some thoughts, and hopefully they don't listen. But yeah, one of the things that drives me nuts is they typically leave their lights on. And I always feel like it's like the courteous thing to do in a neighborhood to turn your lights off, like your front lights off when it's firework time, so that you can really fully enjoy the contrast of the fireworks against the night sky. Like that's always a nice, courteous thing to do. But we have some neighbors over the years that just chose not to do that. And I think I personally feel like they did it on purpose. Like I feel like they like, kind of, screw your fireworks. We're not doing this, and we're gonna leave our lights on. And that's annoying to me. I don't like it. Same thing when someone drives through, like while fireworks are going off, and they're trying to get back to their house from their 4th of July party. They drive through, and then they're waiting for the fireworks to go off so they can go around. But instead of turning their lights off, they just sit there with the full headlights beaming towards the fireworks, and it just takes away from it. It's like, hey, show some awareness. Turn your lights off, and then go around when it's done. I don't think that's too difficult to ask.
No, or you'll get roasted by us, because we do, we stand on the other side of the street away from mainly your in-laws, because we don't want your in-laws to hear what we say to people that pass by.
Sure.
So you don't want to be
they know now.
They do know now, so they're probably going to listen in. I'm sorry, Paula.
Yeah.
There's whenever I see Paula, there's just so much shame on my end because I know she listens, and it's like I'm so embarrassed that she's had to hear some things that come out of my mouth. Especially, I do have a Fourth of July story that I think you're gonna like, and I don't know if you've heard it before,
Oh, all
but
right.
we can do that whenever you want, whenever you're trying to wrap up the Fourth of July topics.
Yeah, let's finish that because I mean, well, actually, we're pretty much there because we had the "Am I the a-hole" stories, but I think we're gonna skip that today because they weren't that great. It was more like, "Hey, am I a jerk for skipping, not helping my girlfriend move because it's on the same day as my family's Fourth of July celebration?" there was more. There was more to it than that, but um, yeah, it was dumb stuff like that. Nothing really that important. But yeah, no, I think the only other thing I have on here um, is illegal fireworks. So again, growing up, being a dude, having guy friends, and you would always hear around this time of year, they would tell the crazy Piccolo Pete stories, how they almost lost an eye or they almost got shot in the mouth with a stupid Piccolo Pete, experiment. And then also there was always a couple of people that would brag about their pops' illegal firework collection. It's like, oh yeah, if you go up in the attic, my dad's got a whole box of black cats, Roman candles. It was basically that whole scene from Joe Dirt.
Right.
And they would just talk about it all the time. It's like, yeah, don't tell anybody, but once a year, once on the 4th of July, he'll light one of those up. Like a cool man. Like there was just so much pride. Like their dad could be a major league baseball player, could be the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, could be all these things. And there would not be as much pride as they had about their dad's illegal firework collection. Like I have a handful of friends that just love that stuff. Um, but obviously, and I think obviously in 2020, specifically, I mean, obviously because people were so, I think, so frustrated and so, they've been inside for so long that when they had a chance to pop those fireworks off, I mean, 2020 4th of July was wild. There were fireworks everywhere, illegal fireworks, bottle rockets everywhere. I personally have never understood the appeal. That being said, our dad doesn't have a collection of illegal fireworks. The thought of my dad collecting illegal fireworks would just blow my mind. Like if I found out dad had a collection of illegal fireworks, I'm not even sure what I would do. That's like finding out my dad is like James Bond or something. It's like, you were a secret agent this whole time? I had no clue. That's what it would feel like. He's just not that dude, but maybe he is. We just don't know. But what are your thoughts on people who shoot off the illegal fireworks? And I'm sure that people are listening to this that do this, but what do you think about that?
Again, I think you know when you see it, like the person that does that. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I get the intrigue because when I went on a cruise to Mexico a couple of years ago to I can't remember where we went.
Ensenada?
Like in Ensenada. So, and it's kind of like the little shops, the touristy shops. Like I did find one with illegal fire, and I just started taking pictures. Like it's addicting to take pictures of fireworks because they're so cool.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not, again, I don't want to shoot them off. So it's like it's fine if you do, but it's like it does get weird sometimes. And this is crazy. You want to talk about narcs? I do have a buddy who like hangs out and has like listens to the police scanners to just see where people are popping out, and he'll narc on people. It's like you've got to have something better to do with your life than narking on people shooting off illegal fireworks, because he's like like a Dwight Schrute like fake cop, and he'll just drive through and it's like, hey, how such and such they're shooting them off, and he'll just report. It's the worst. But here's what I do like: permission to speak about your wife.
Sure. If I have to cut it out, I'll cut it out.
It's such a, and I it's become like a bit now, because like I've noticed this the first couple of years she started coming over, is if things were going off like midday, like 3 or 4, she just gets so flustered. Why do they shoot them off it doesn't even make any sense. So now I have to be the first one to mention that, and I'll just like lose my mind and just get so triggered, like it doesn't make any sense. Why are they shooting off fireworks in the middle of the day? And it just it's funny every time. And I spoiled it this year, but I'm gonna try and beat her to it and just say it before she can say it, because I've never seen, like, she could be running around with the kids and she'll just stop and just
Stop
lose
everything.
her mind.
It does drive her nuts.
And it's like every single year it's like verbatim. It's like, why do they have to do this? And it's honestly, it's very fun for me to just
I'll let her know that.
Poke the bear a little bit.
That's very funny. No, that does annoy her. Oh, that's actually brings me to something that I saw on the Am I the A-hole Reddit subreddit. Um, one of them was, what are your thoughts about people who set off fireworks leading up to 4th of July? It's a little bit weird because I can see how it would be. I mean, it doesn't personally annoy me. Um, Especially now, it's a little bit different with the ages of our kids. It's not going to be as problematic. I'll tell you what, when you're in that newborn stage and those jokers are shooting off fireworks on at weird hours, you expect it on 4th of July, and it is what it is. You just got to deal with that. But when they're doing it like on July 7th, it's like, hey man, hey, 4th of July is over. This baby's trying to sleep. If you wake this baby up, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find Jordan's buddy who has the police scanner and narc on you because you're
Yeah.
killing me. But
You
in
don't even
general,
know how
like
to
other,
spell America. Why are you shooting them off?
yeah, yeah. But in general, I don't, that stuff doesn't bother me. Like I said, now that our kids are a little bit beyond that, it's not that big of a deal for me. But what are your thoughts on that? Setting off the fireworks too early, too many days before, or too many days after?
I guess for me, it doesn't bother me just because I like them. I mean, I'm not the biggest sound person, so it's like when it booms, the bigger booms like that does kind of bother me, but it's not too bad. I feel bad for the dogs, and I'm not like a dog like I don't go on Twitter calling them doggos. I don't know. Someone needs to tell me when that started. It bothers me that just one night people just start calling them doggos. Like I know people would verbalize that, but just writing it, I don't know when that happened. It bothers me.
Yeah, I don't
But
like it
like you
either.
feel bad for the dogs because like that's like their nightmare is just 4th of July, and it's like you feel bad for them because I mean we had a dog and that was like it was just terrible to see her just bummed out and scared.
Well, we had to go find her because
Yeah,
she would like kind of tuck herself away in one of the bedrooms, and you'd have to find out where she was.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I always felt for that. So I feel for the dogs. I feel for the little kids. If they're not prepared. We try to put the little headphones on our kids so that way they don't get it too badly. But um, yeah, it's an interesting thing. But yeah, I personally don't have a problem with people setting them off early or late, but it is a little bit weird. I can understand why it would make someone mad though. I'm also very aware of why that would irritate someone. Like if it was your neighbor and it's July 1st and we're just pew, 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 pew. It's like, all right, we got 3 more days of this. Can't keep doing this. So I get that. So anyway, so do you have anything else to say about 4th of July before you share this story? We'll close on the story that you have.
No, I mean it would just be the story.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think I have anything else. We covered the food, uh, all the reasons why you like it. It is a fun thing. Shout out to, well, yeah, it is interesting. I've heard some people talk about how there's like the cooler guy. Is that a podcast that we listen to? A podcast that you and
That's
I
part
both.
of my take.
No,
That's
it was
part of my
part, it was
take.
part of my take. Okay, I'm like this big cat, right?
Because you don't want to be
No, no,
you don't want to be grill guy. You want to be part. You want to be cooler guy.
with Rosillo, with
That
Rosillo,
was
yeah,
with
yeah,
Rosillo.
yeah. We've said this before too, and this is something that I really enjoy on 4th of July. Uh, and I don't drink, you don't drink, but like I'm sure it applies to people who enjoy cans of beer, but for us who drink soda, uh, it's awesome those cold sodas out of an ice chest, like a can of soda out of ice chest. And on 4th of July, when you have that, it does add to the experience. It is delicious.
I do think because going back to part of my take, they're always talking. They have the Coors Light sponsorship. They're always talking about how the mountains turn blue. I think
Yeah,
we need to adopt that technology for every single drink.
that's a good idea. They
Like we just
should.
need to turn stuff blue because it does add to the it adds to the that's to the experience. Like if I were to drink, I would get a Coors Light just to see the mountains turn
Just to see
blue.
the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying that whole experience from grabbing the can out of the ice chest and feeling how cold it is to cracking it open, the sound of the crack, and then drinking it. It's beautiful. It's an awesome thing, and I think it's when you have it with like the 4th of July food, it just adds to the whole experience. So anyway, that's a side note, but it's pretty awesome. So what story do you have? What are we closing this thing out with?
This is the one
Uh
that's gonna get me in
oh.
trouble.
Uh
Ha-
oh.
have you heard the story about how I was propositioned on 4th of July?
No. Oh, I don't think so. This kind of sounds familiar, but
Oh,
not enough.
you'll know the person who propositioned me too.
All right, here we go. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy one.
It's gonna be a bumpy one. I was probably in seventh, eighth, or ninth grade. No, probably eighth or ninth grade. So late
Jeez,
middle
man.
school, early high school. And that was the time when our little brother was playing in the local little league. And so, they played with like the same group of kids for like so many years. So the parents, kind of knew our family. Our dad was the manager or coach or whatever. So a lot of people knew me, knew you, knew all of us. So um, and there was one family that really took a liking to dad and Justin and just our family for the most part. So I know that 4th of July, you guys weren't in town. You had to go to like a summer camp. So it was, and Justin always goes to his best friend's house for 4th of July. So it was just gonna be me and my parents. So and I think that's what I was referring to earlier when like it was the one year we had ribs because it was just us. So it's like we were kind of going this. It was probably the 3rd of July, and I was going with my mom she's like, hey, you're the only one eating, so you get to pick out all the food and you get to pick out the desserts and whatever. So we're at Rayleigh's and we're kind of just shopping for, like I said, the ribs and all the other stuff. And all of a sudden, the mom that has taken a liking to kind of our family and all of us comes over and is like, hey, oh, hey, we're this is crazy, we're both shopping for 4th of July. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's like, what's going on? It's like, oh no, it's gonna be a little quieter this year without Josh, Ashley, and Justin. It's just gonna be Jordan and Steve or whatever. So, and Lay's like, oh, interesting. Well, I have an idea. How would you like to come with me tomorrow to the races? And like I was kind of I sat there kind of shocked because there was an emphasis on just me. Like it was a singular, hey, you and I, we can, have fun little adventure to the races, maybe get something to eat afterwards. This is this is a mom of like multiple kids. And I'm like,
eighth grader.
I'm 14, 15. I'm like, I'm not that cute of a kid. I'm a husky kid. I'm like, not that cute. But it's like she propositioned me in front of my mother to basically just as a 14-year-old, and there's no mention of her husband, who's very nice man. I feel bad for him. But
well, yeah, because he was getting worked over by an eighth grader.
He was getting cucked by me. Yeah. again, husky little Jordan was cucking a great dude. And it was very uncomfortable. And she's like, yeah, no, we can go to the races. And that way, your parents can have some alone time and you and I can just get to know each other.
That's terrible.
So like, I was in my head, like, I know I was young, but I was like, okay, I'm either going to get sex trafficked or this is like a weird Mrs. Robinson situation.
Yeah, right. At the races.
Both, it does not end well for me. I'll tell you that much. So it's like, oh no, I kind of did the polite thing. And it's like, oh no, I think, we got ribs just for me. We're just going to do that. It was the weird, like I've
She's
never
like,
been
I have a brownie sundae for you. And you're like, wait a minute. What kind of brownie sundae?
Right. It's like Mrs. Robinson, brownie sundae, my mom's ribs, potato salad.
It's tough. That's tough. No, that's funny. That actually does sound familiar. That story does sound familiar. And that's such a bizarre thing. Even if it was an innocent thing, not knowing how that would sound and how that would seem would be very strange to me.
Right. No, and it like there was implications for the rest of the year because I didn't go back out to practice. Dad lost his lefty batting practice thrower. Like I'm not going back out because I might be, I might get like groped out there by this lady. I don't know. So I'm like basically a victim.
Have you seen her as since you've become an adult?
No, I think
Has she seen you though?
I've
heard out there somewhere. Like
I've heard from some sources say things are not going well. So yeah. Probably because she's propositioning 14-year-olds at Rayleigh's in front of the mom.
Yeah,
like that'd be like To Catch a Predator, just in front of the mom, just adding her on the chat.
Right. Hey, what do you think about this? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's like, hey, can I borrow Jimmy for 4th of July? I swear we're only going to go to the races.
Yeah, I swear that's it. That's it. Just let him tag along. Make sure he wears like a sleeveless shirt and as short as shorts. Like what? What? Just asking you to wear a uniform. Anyways, yeah, we'll continue this conversation later. This is not for the air.
No.
That's funny. And you made it out alive though. You're one of the survivors. Good for you.
I'm a better person for it. So
Yeah. Like I said, you should probably, I know you have your social media, your Instagram as public. You may want to change that.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Probably
may want
will.
to go back and change that to private, because she's probably
Right.
out there looking. It's like, ooh, another shirtless summer GoPro picture. I'm a fan.
He's been swimming.
He's been swimming. Grab the ace bandages.
Hey man.
Anyway,
Subscribers
anyways,
to the Sack B know what's up.
anyways, on that note, that's one that's gonna get me in trouble. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, man. It's always fun. Like I said, people always enjoy when you hop on here. Some of our family may not, because of because of things that you say, but listen at your own risk. That's what I say. Listen at your own risk.
Views of you. That's all you care about.
Downloads a download, views a view. I'll take it all. We need more of those. So and 5-star ratings and reviews. If you guys can help us out, that'd be awesome. If you don't like what Jordan said, please don't penalize the podcast. Go leave some nasty comments on his Instagram page, or go to Twitter and retweet something he says and hate that, because then that will still help you out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll still help you out. So that being said, where can they follow you on social media and all of those things?
No, I'm not really that active on Instagram anymore, or Twitter. I've had like a little creative block, so we need to, I've been in a little rut lately. So I feel like we're getting back in the swing of things. So at Jordan Takimoto.
Go follow him. Go check out his stuff. Make him inspire him to start posting again.
Yeah, start doing weird things in public. That's where I get most of the tweets. You guys, you guys got to do more weird stuff in public. People are acting too normal now.
Yeah, do all that weird stuff. We actually got a comment. I posted about it. Somebody on YouTube just randomly asked if we needed a new co-host, and I don't know.
I saw. I was gonna. I think you should give her a shot. I like the initiative.
Did you look at her videos?
No, she's single.
I'm not convinced as a woman. I'll be honest with you.
Hey, I'm gonna look it up right now. I think you should give he or her a tryout. I think it takes balls to immediately.
Well, and she may have them. She may have them.
That's basically like that baseball team mom. It's like you're basically. She asked you to just be the cuck in this situation and have just Deb be a bystander and just watch it happen. So I know I'm like, if you had three votes, I feel like I have one vote in this podcast, and I vote. Let's give this person a shot.
I'm gonna have to pass, because there's a lot of mixtape talk when I checked out their page. So I'm like, nah, probably not the right demo for this podcast. Plus, despite what it may seem like as far as my joking and things that I say about Deb, I'm actually a fan of Deb, and she's a good co-host. So I'm gonna let it now. If hopefully Deb doesn't see this as a window to get out. Maybe she does. She's like, oh, this is my window. He has another option. It's this lady just randomly asking, need a co-host? No, I'm good. I don't need to sling any more mixtapes. I'm set on that. But you never know. We'll keep it in mind. And if I have a conversation with her, I'll ask if she's single. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. You guys can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Connectable Podcast, YouTube as well, Connectable Podcast, and then on Twitter at Connectable Pod. And if you would be so kind, like I said earlier, please head over to Apple Podcasts to leave a 5-star rating and review. We're getting close to 30. If we can make the 30, that would make my heart so happy. And if you guys can help us out, that'd be awesome. And if you guys enjoy 4th of July that's coming up, enjoy that, and be safe.
Be safe.
Don't lose any fingers or toes. What'd you say?
Don't go to the races.
Don't go to the races with some random woman
that's 4 years older.
That's yeah. Don't do any of that stuff. I think if you can follow those rules, you should have a pretty safe and fun 4th of July. So we will see you guys next week. See ya. Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.